unusual couple, you know?
Oh, I don't think that was ever in question.
Heavenly shades of night are falling. It's twilight time.
Wanda and Vision, aren't we a five pair?
Our story.
I think what my wife means to say is that we moved from...
Moved from where? Married when? Damn it, why?
Oh, Arthur, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Wanda, can you read me? Can you read me? Wanda, can you read me? Who's doing this to you?
Are you here to help us?
Deep in the dark, darkest spilled blue.
Is this really happening?
Like days of old.
We just don't know what to expect.
What is up, people? What's up? Welcome back. This is another episode of the RoundTable, where we will be reviewing episode 4. I think it was called. What was it called? Pardon the interruption, or something like that.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, it was a great episode, but we'll get into that now.
It was called Much Damn Better.
We'll get into all of that. We'll discuss everything we need to discuss, but first we'll go around the panel and we'll talk about our channels. Comic Chat. Danny Graham, you're first, my friend.
I'm Danny Graham, aka Comic Chat. I'm here with Anzo again. Another exciting discussion about WandaVision. I'm just here for the show.
Okay, great. Glad you're here.
Damn.
Comics, how you doing, man? Glad you came in again.
I'm doing fantastic, Anzo. How about yourself?
Not too bad, not too bad. Tell the people about your channel, sir.
Well, I'm Comics Division, and I talk about things and stuff on occasion. I typically live stream every Monday and Thursday, and I'm also on Friday Night Tights.
Excellent.
Don't forget the times you talk about stuff and things.
And yeah, stuff and things and stuff.
Excellent. Chris Knight, you are up.
Yeah, if you've watched Anzo's channel, you know who I am. Real Review 3000, of course, Chaos Central, part of the four of us right here. And yeah, so check everybody out, sub to everybody, ring the bell on everybody's channel. That's the most important thing, even though YouTube has yet to figure out how to make it work.
Hopefully they will. Guys,
someday.
Yes, sir. I'm Geiska from the Basco Scenario. Catch my channel for some nice gaming clips. You can catch me right here on Sundays, Roundtable, Mondays on the Chaotic Conversation at 9, Tuesdays, 9 p.m. on the Chaos List, and Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Rule of 3, then at 10 p.m. the same day on the OC.
Perfect. Not a problem. JJ, tell the people where you're from, sir, where they can find you.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy JJ. You can find me a little bit of everywhere and a lot of nowhere. You can find me on Sunday, starting off over on Chris Knight's channel, and then you'll find me here for a few more episodes of WandaVision on Sundays. These fine gentlemen, I love coming to the stream, just like the list. I love coming to the stream. I look forward to hanging out with y'all. Monday night, and also later on that night, on Honstar's channel for either Jackbox Game Night or Name That Tune. Mondays on my channel, I do my own weekly live stream called Randomness at Its Finest, and then I'm back around on this channel on Tuesday for the Chaos List with most of the gentlemen on the panel, or at least 4 of them on the panel, including LDG Pixels and Eli Hoo whenever he decides he wants to show up. And then back around on Thursday night on Chris's channel every once in a while on the Weekly Rumble. Sometimes as a contestant or as a combatant, as I like to say, or sometimes he throws me in as a wild card at the end. And lastly, you can find me on Twitter at SithLord3827 right there, where sometimes I tweet, sometimes I retweet.
There we go.
Sometimes I don't. It's lottery. Check it out.
There we go.
Great to see everyone.
Good to see you, JJ. Been a minute. Positive Candor, you are up, my friend.
All right. Positive Candor. You can catch me on my YouTube channel, Positive Candor, or on Twitter, Positive Candor.
Excellent. And then we have one more guest who I guess wanted to make this grand entrance. So, LDG, the floor is yours.
I am inevitable.
That's right, baby. What's going on, everybody? How's it going?
The only thing inevitable about you, LDG, is the reference. The only thing inevitable about you, LDG, is going to be the reference that you're going to make about how In-Game got it wrong. At some point tonight, that's going to be what you're going to do.
I was saying that this episode was directly related to Endgame.
Just for that. Using a clip out of a movie that he hates. That is.
Thank you. I was just about to say that.
Okay, for those of you who actually don't listen to the words that come out of my mouth, I didn't say I hate it. I said it should have been a million times better. But it's easier just to get on the hate train because, there is a ban LDG channel. So
you do like
now go ahead and ride that train. I hope you enjoyed the ride, my friend. What's going on, everybody? LDG Pixels here. Just some guy trying to change the world before he dies by giving you a true public forum and the ultimate end user program. That's right, Skynet in your own pocket. What's been 2 minutes since I mentioned it now? Project Prometheus, guys. While I'm doing that, hitting you up with a free tech support channel, LDG Pixels. If you have any issues or whatnot, hit me up. I'm here to help, guys. And on Geeks Enjoy Nerdrotica, where nerding out turns you on. Remember, it's not porn, it's Nerdrotica. Hanging out in the waiting room, between the streams, hang up your feet, sit as close as you want, open panels, open topics, get to see people talk about whatever, me doing work, whatever, and promoting those who deserve it, kicking you out, telling you to go watch them, and then come hang out after. Thank you. We also do watch parties and have lots of fun. So thank you for having me on. I believe there's a couple people on this panel tonight that have a few words they need to eat, depending on how much they liked last week's channel. So I'm going to have fun with that. And also, if you haven't checked out my 2 videos where I actually video synced episodes 2 with 4, if for those of you who actually like to nerd out and actually know if it's yet said backwards actually says, check out my 2 videos on WandaVision.
Excellent. Yeah.
You sounded like a Missy Elliott video there.
That's what he was talking
I actually did that. When I heard that song, I recorded it and played it backwards to make sure that what she said was actually what she played in reverse, and it was.
Yeah,
so I did that with WandaVision episode 4.
Nice. I heard her talking about it, and she did say that it was actually what she said in reverse. Yep. So what we're gonna do, guys?
What was it? What was it?
Missy Elliott's song.
Oh yeah.
So what we're gonna do, guys, is we're just gonna go through our overall opinions of the 4th episode. We'll start off with Danny. What did you think? First impressions, overall impressions of the episode.
Here it comes.
Let's go.
Yeah, baby.
Hold on. Go ahead.
Yeah, baby.
Come on.
Sorry, what was that?
Your hands in front of your mouth. We can't see your lips move, and we can't really understand what you're saying.
Couldn't hear that, Danny. Could you repeat that in English?
Spit it out.
I like it.
I'm sorry, Danny. Can you say
that? Wait, guys. I need to hear this so we can clip it. I mean,
I even bought Texas Pete to put on the crow I'm gonna have to eat tonight. Okay, episode 4 was fire. I like it. Okay,
I put that shit on everything.
That's Frank's Red Hot, but that's okay.
I was pleasantly surprised, man. The show was fire. That's what I can say. Kevin
like I said,
is a genius. That's what I'm gonna say.
Like I said before the stream, and I'll say it again while we're live, is that it's JJ and Danny are your classic people who liked the test after they have the answers. They don't like the thoughts of the test. Some of us, I mean, there are some tests I took in life that I loved. And I didn't have to have the answers. You gave them the answers. Now they're like, oh, it was a great test.
I don't know what kind of bullshit you talking about, Chris. Ain't nothing no test. I told you, simple and explain.
You accounted this to trigonometry. You said trigonometry, and now you have.
He did, didn't he? He did, didn't he?
Those first 3 episodes, nobody will remember. Nobody else remember those first 3 episodes.
After this episode, I think you will, because now you can go back and watch everything. I think everybody will still.
Like I did.
Yeah, Mm-hmm.
That's the first
if
thing
I'm
I
watching
did. Matter of
first
fact,
three, a man to my right comment said this shit is unwatchable. That was his words. The first 3 episodes is unwatchable.
Rewatchable.
So if
They were
something
not
is unwatchable, and now everybody want rewatchable. They were not rewatchable. But now
Things can
everybody on this
change.
panel, I guarantee, maybe except JJ, don't watch this thing twice. Don't watch this last episode twice. I bet you.
I've already watched it 3 times, and I went back and watched the other ones because I wanted to connect the dots.
Just for the record, who is the voice of reason who even called it and said episode 4 was the one you guys shouldn't be saying anything until you see episode 4?
I
Who
believe
was
that
the
was
person
We were
saying
both
that?
saying that. We were both saying it.
I'm sorry. Who was the first person saying that? I'm sorry.
Both of us. Both of us.
It was yours truly right
No,
here.
it wasn't.
It was
Listen,
too early.
Purple man bad. Purple man bad.
I'll go
Don't
back
make
and I'll
me.
check
I'll
it out.
snap you into the freaking Phantom Zone. All right.
we the receipts are there. We just gotta go back and check the other episode. That's it.
Receipts are in the pudding. Exactly.
Comments. What were your overall impressions?
I enjoyed the episode immensely. There's only one scene that annoyed me. But other than that, I overall I really enjoyed the episode.
Excellent, Chris.
Can't wait to hear that.
Absolutely. I think both LDG, and it just depends on when he went. If he went before me, of course, he said it first. But I don't know. But yeah, I think that this one was definitely the right place to do stop the gimmicks that we were seeing, because people like JJ and Danny were definitely not going to stay much longer if that's the way they went. And they did the perfect timing. I love how they started with the snap. Or whatever the blip that when they started calling it the blip. I love they did that. They gave Monica Rambeau some I guess it's one of the first characters we've heard about that we know died during the time that the snap happened, but she didn't die from the snap. Her mother dies. We know her mother from Captain Marvel, whether or not you like the movie or not. We have met this character. Yeah,
Monica is the little girl from Captain Marvel.
Yes, okay. and I like the way that they handled this, and it makes sense now because her mom became the person in charge of S.W.O.R.D., and it makes sense that this has all happened over this length of time. And I like that kind of nod back to Captain Marvel and the things we learned from Captain Marvel. But yeah, no, it was very good. I think this is well executed and well placed time in the timeline of this series.
I agree. Gaishka.
I loved it. I think it was a stroke of genius how they tied it up to those 3 episodes. I mean, people might not liked what he did from the beginning, bringing it up that way, but he's connecting those dots, making us even, more curious to why the 10 years in the sitcoms. I have a feeling that has something to do with it, but overall, we'll get into that after. But overall, I just think it was amazing.
Yeah, me too. JJ.
All right. I was talking about this over on the wrap up. Go ahead, bigify me. I ain't got nothing to hide. I'm a grown man. I admit when I'm wrong. And I was wrong. This episode gave context to the first 3. You understood what was going on instead of just starting off. I'm not saying you should have started from episode 4, but it gives context on what they are watching in episode 4. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the first thing I noticed. We all know our friend Eli Hu. Kat Dennings is the exact female version of him.
Yeah, I can see that.
Dark hair, dark long hair, glasses, astrophysicist. You got to say that's his sister. Anyway, the execution of the episode, I loved it. Like I said, it gave context to a lot of things that we've seen previously, and understanding, why the red helicopter, why someone was talking through the radio, there was and a lot of tie-ins and callbacks. I didn't quite understand what was going on in the beginning, but then when dude said the blip, okay, all right, most people would know that already. I was like, okay, that's what that was. Just a lot of explanation to a lot of things I really didn't understand or even knew why it was going on. And when they show, after the broadcast pretty much just ended and went to credits, that scene between her and Wanda and Monica, knowing that she's the one doing this, it's even starting to trouble her a little bit, or as a reminder of what Monica was, to even turn around and see a dead Vision. I loved it. I've heard people complaining about the beekeeper. Seeing what was going on made sense. Everything made sense now, and I thought it was well done. And pretty much that's my thoughts on it. I'm sorry it was so long.
It's okay, no problem. We'll get into what we liked about it later. Positive Candor, you were up.
Yep.
First overall impressions of the episode.
Yeah, I mean, it was okay.
Ooh, just okay.
Whoa.
Okay, we'll get into that when it comes around. LDG, you are out.
You can go ahead and make me big. No.
Nah.
Yeah. So and
don't ever say that again.
Okay, I like what they did, and those of you saw my reaction while I was watching it live video, which by the way broke 700 views. Woohoo! For a celebration there. I was hyped. I liked it. I wasn't really paying attention to the details. I ended up having to watch it. I mean, it was the first episode where I like, as soon as I finished seeing it, I wanted to see it again immediately. And then as soon as I saw it again, I wanted to see the episode, the previous episodes again. And literally like just soak into everything that they were trying to give us. The subtle hints, the back hints, the certain things that we're going to mention today, that I'm going to mention today that maybe people didn't even pick up on. I thought the presentation was an A. Like the presentation was great. I think the execution was somewhat lacking. We'll get into that later. But the presentation was a nice, clean plate, a lot on the table to absorb, a lot of things to look at, to reference to. I thought that was awesome. But I do think the execution of what they did was off. And either they're hiding something even more bigger or more dramatic, or they were just flat out incompetent. Don't know. But overall, I would say I definitely enjoyed it. I like how they brought it back so to make you actually rewatch. They brought rewatchability to the previous episodes. And to be able to do that is something you don't see every day in movies or shows or even books. So yeah, definitely enjoyed it. Had fun. And if you haven't seen it already, you need to go watch it.
Yep, that is correct. I did enjoy this episode as well. Actually, so far, I thought it was the best one out of all the ones we've seen, of course. But just the fact that we were able to get a lot of clues and answers in there, you know what I mean? And the way they tied it back into the first 3 episodes was amazing. So I'm definitely excited to hear what you guys liked about the episode. So we'll start off with Danny, of course. What did you like about this episode, sir?
I finally understand what the fuck it is. I really think that the first 3 episodes were not necessary. Now, the way he curved it around and brought it back and showed us everything happened was a stroke of genius. Like I said earlier, if you go back and play this, I said I had faith in Kevin Feige, and he just renewed my faith because I was not traveling with him on the same journey he was with those first 3, and I'm going to stick to that. First 3 episodes, in my opinion, was not needed, but the way he tied it up and make everybody realize to this episode, to me, dumbed down the other 3. And if it's trigonometry, calculus, whatever, so be it. But this one, I understood. I knew what was going on. I thought it was very clever how they first introduced it with the snap, how it was like the reverse snap. And one thing that really stuck in my mind, Wanda is on a different level now. If I still think there's somebody pulling her strings, but I think that went to this individual first that's pulling the strings. I'm still going to be on the Mephisto is still pulling the strings tip until I see anything differently. But I like the whole episode. I like they did explain, especially the beekeeper part, like whenever you go in that world, for whatever reason, it transforms you to fit whatever particular character she wants. So it's interesting too, I think, because Vision is figuring out something ain't right, and Renee kind of just biding his time. But overall, this episode was much better. I agree with Anzo said. It's the best episode of the series. I think the next, what was it, 5 episodes now left?
Yeah.
Next 5 episodes will be only get better. So I'm looking forward to next Friday. So
great, good deal.
So far, I'm digging what they're doing.
All right.
Starting from episode
4. Is it enough to make you go back and watch the first 3 again?
Hell no. I'm done with that.
Just checking.
That is basically an hour of my life that I wasted that I can't get back.
Just checking. Comics, you're up, man.
All right, man. There's a lot of things I like about this episode. Again, I like how they started with the reverse snap because so far it's been made kind of a joke of in Far From Home. And you get to see more of the chaos that happened. And I thought it was really well done to have Monica come back. She has no idea what's going on. She finds out her mother's gone. It's been 5 years later. I thought that was really well done. And I just love to see the chaos that was being created by the reverse snap, because that's what exactly should be happening, right? But probably on a much larger and more catastrophic scale, unfortunately. Also, the actress that plays Monica Rambeau, she is fantastic. I mean, that lady has a lot of charisma, and I really hope that they replace Brie Larson with her as Captain Marvel, because she's fantastic. She has a great personality and a lot of screen presence. I think she definitely has a lot of potential to be a phenomenal actress. The other thing too is I love how they were able to go and tie everything that has been going on in the previous 3 episodes into this one, so you have a better idea of what's going on. We've all been speculating, which has been fun, about what's been going on, and we actually finally get to see it. We find out why Monica is there and how things have been kind of progressing with her and the world. The fact that Wanda is just kind of batshit crazy at this point is interesting. And the other thing too, which kind of like made me take a step back a bit, was seeing Vision, because we all knew that, we all know he's dead, and to see basically he looks like this animated corpse briefly was great. That was really well done.
That was a Walking Dead moment.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a Walking Dead moment, and it is definitely that you can see that all is not right with Wanda, and the fact that Vision is clearly still dead, but is being brought back to life by Wanda at this point. What else? I'm trying to remember what else I liked. The other thing too I thought was pretty cool was the fact that the person at the monitor at the very end of episode 1, we find out to be Kat Dennings' character. Yeah, so really well done. The acting in this episode was fantastic. Like I said, there's only one thing I don't like about it. We'll talk about that in the upcoming section.
Excellent. Chris, what did you like about the episode?
Marcy put a lot of energy back.
What are you gonna say, Danny?
I said Marcy brought a lot of energy to the episode.
Yeah, I agree. Chris,
I actually made notes and went back to some of the stuff I noticed. I'll try to go through here as much of them as possible that are so I don't take all day, because there's a lot here to digest. A lot of Easter eggs that don't even technically have to do with the show so far as much as it has to do with where we were at in the show. Obviously, this is Monica Rambeau's origin story. Also, so WandaVision is kind of this wrap up of keeping somebody that we know and yet adding people in ways that we haven't yet seen. when she comes back from the snap, if you listen closely, you can actually hear Captain Marvel calling her Lieutenant Trouble. That's what it is. You can actually hear it if you go back and listen to it. Yeah, I was actually listening to it to go to sleep one night. I think it was Friday night, and one of those days. I've watched it 3 or 4 times now, this one episode. And yeah, she talks and says you can hear her in the background. The drone that she sends in, those are Captain Marvel's colors, and Monica, as a child, is the one that suggested the colors to Captain Marvel. So it's kind of an interesting thing that-that's her link to Sword. Yeah. Let's see here. Okay, so Monica's powers that she ends up having are very energy based, and perhaps the reason why the energy field didn't bother her so much, I thought originally, was because of those latent powers she has. But when the guy goes through the tunnels, and he goes through too, I don't think that is quite it. But they might be suggesting, because she survived and she didn't get as hurt as maybe a normal person would have, that perhaps maybe it is somewhat that. Where else? Room 104, that's where she wakes up. No big deal to the Captain Marvel universe or to WandaVision necessarily, but issue 104 of the Avengers is where the Avengers and the X-Men team up for the fight. They're hunting the Sentinels. Maybe that's so again, another reference back to X-Men, perhaps. I think that's exactly where we're going with this. Let's see here. What else? Sword. Of course, I liked all the stuff, insinuating that her mother became a big person within Sword. And, this is years after we first see it, of course, in Captain Marvel. Well, let's see here. Jimmy Woo. I like that we saw him again. We got the answer for the voice, which we all I think a couple of people said that they thought that might be Jimmy Woo, and it did sound like him. The cool thing, though, is if you watch, there's a whiteboard at one part. The whiteboard, on it, he actually has written something that says that the Skrulls might be behind all of this. So this leads to the belief that we kind of had that perhaps the Skrulls aren't the good guys that we saw in Captain Marvel. So therefore, perhaps, or is it Captain Marvel? What is it?
It's Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel.
Okay, yeah. So the thing about that really intrigues me is that we now are seeing things leading that years after perhaps they have learned that the Skrulls are not good. We just haven't actually seen it within the universe yet. Definitely the Vision scene, but not just because it solidifies the answer, but that's also very much a part of the comics, because after after he does get killed and it throws Wanda into this crazy world, that's kind of the House of M thing. He's actually brought back, and he's not quite what he was, but he does survive. But he from that point on, he was illustrated as colorless. So that's kind of I think another Easter egg to that. So the only two people we didn't see in this episode were the boss and his wife. And I think there's a reason for that. Agent Franklin is the beekeeper, I believe. And I'm trying to think where that comes from. I think the Grim Reaper was listed as Eric Williams in the comic series. And if perhaps that has some tie to it, I'm not sure. I know that I've seen references to beekeepers in the comics in the past. And I think, again, that beekeeper, and I'll get to that because that's part of what I didn't like, and I'll explain that. But phooey, what else? The starting song, Voodoo Child, man, that lets you know right off the bat that we were going to get a different episode. and there's some keys in the song lyrics that might harken to some Marvel stuff, talking about a mountain, and I think there's a mountain Wundagore or something like that. I'm trying to pull stuff. What?
I don't know.
I'm just.
I think it was the wrong era.
What was that?
I think it's a great pick, but wrong era.
Well, I know, but I'm thinking of. I'm trying to think of the things that could tie it to it. I just think that they're doing. The song itself is very different as to what the other songs we've heard. The other songs are kind of that 50s, 60s popish thing, and Voodoo Child is none of that. And so I think it fits well with the fact that this whole thing was just turned on a head. I don't know, and I still get a big House of M feel from this. There's still a lot of House of M to it. Yeah, but I mean, there you go. The CMBR is interesting. How they basically say that this is interlaced in there, so it's almost like she's controlling parts of it. But if Mephisto is a part of this, I think he's letting her control enough of it to make her think this is all her and hide himself. And at the same time, maybe subconsciously she knows it's not all her, and she's sending out the signal as a kind of a cry for help or a beacon for like an SOS signal. Maybe, I don't know. There's just a ton of stuff going on in this one that in the background, and so many things that tie to other things that I don't know. It's going to be crazy. It's going to go crazy, I think.
I agree.
But I liked all the little things that added to it that weren't a part of this WandaVision story so far.
Gaishka.
Well, Chris hit a lot of things that I was going to say too, but what things I really liked is how they tied in the appearance of other movies, right? That these characters like Jimmy Woo was in with the magic trick from he does the magic trick with the card to make the card appear because of Ant-Man. I think Darcy also stole the show on this episode. You know, her little perky, comical relief. You know, always asking for the coffee and nobody's paying her any mind. The way it ties in the episodes, I think, was just pure genius. Going back with the colors of Captain Marvel, I caught that one too, and it's just the way by giving us those 2 episodes threw a lot of people off. They had us talking about a whole bunch of things, and I know we've said, oh, they should have just released all the episodes and have a binge watching. I think they did this right by showing one show at a time, because it kept everyone invested. If they would have thrown everything in one shot, we wouldn't have all the talk and discussion and theories that we've had, right?
Yeah,
I agree.
The whole thing with Monica Rambeau's origin story with the blip, I think was epic. I think it was so well done. Like Comic said, it's something that we did not see in the cinematic universe, and to see that, what happened, all these people that were just coming back, bumping into each other. The whole scene that we missed out, how she flew when Wanda pushed her out of the house, right? How she flew through the brick, the wood, the bricks, the cinder blocks.
That was very well done.
Not only that, it was amazingly done, but the fact that she survived it goes to tie in that, yes, she has some kind of powers or energy to make her survive that. Because if it was any human, she would have been dead. We all know that.
Yep.
The drone, the things with the drones changing colors, when the people are going in.
I know y'all keep saying that. I'm sorry, Gaskar. But she don't have no latent power. She got the powers kind of the same way the first Captain Marvel did. She got shot with something.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that, it ties in that she's the one, that her mom's the one that started the whole sword project, right? It's just the way everything's interlinking. I strongly believe that this is definitely going towards the whole House of M theory. I strongly believe that the Skrulls are coming back, and they're leading it by hinting that. I believe that they saw that the Earth can be easily infiltrated and they can mask themselves within the population. So for them, they're going to try and take it over. And I think this is going to be the stepping stone for the Secret Wars to come. The X-Men is definitely going to be a factor in this whole story. I think there's already rumors that the Quicksilver from the X-Men is going to appear in this series in a cameo. What I really like was when she was walking in Sword, right, with the director, and she goes, "How's our astronaut training program going?" I connect this with the Fantastic Four. I think this astronaut program is going to be the Fantastic Four. I just loved everything, all these little hints and clues that they were throwing in there. There was only one thing that I hate, and we'll talk about that after. But yeah, overall, I think Kevin Feige is a fucking genius.
Yeah, man, he's starting to make me think that too. JJ, you're up. Let's see if he's
Earth the JJ.
Frozen? Oh,
you're muted also.
Yeah. Never fails.
Once again, thank you, Chris. I need to start paying you for that shit.
My PayPal is down in my descriptions of every video I do. Yeah, anytime, please. Thank you.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm just an idiot or if everybody already knew, but I already voiced my concerns with this early on when they announced Phase 4. You know, I'm thinking WandaVision. That is the dumbest name I've ever heard in my life. Okay, why are you going to do this? Because, and it's also, this is where, to go off what Danny said, Kevin Feige is genius. Because I don't know if anybody else caught it, but I just did. Okay, WandaVision, it's a play on words. Okay, we think Wanda and Vision. Okay, what is Darcy doing? She's not watching television. She's watching WandaVision.
Yeah.
I just caught that.
You really just got that?
I just got that. Yeah.
I had that from episode 1.
Yeah.
I was with you on that, JJ. I can't go on that island with you on that one, bro.
If that's what you call trigonometry, is that what you call
It's okay, JJ. It's okay. It's okay, man.
Keep going.
All right, LDG. I'm a pot smoker. What the fuck do you want?
There you go.
Hey, I just don't know how you're gonna pay back Chris Knight because you already cashed in with the Tooth Fairy. You're gonna no other.
Oh Jesus! Oh Jesus! LDG, I would suggest strongly that you watch going on a stream of JJ's anytime soon because you will be sent to Plaid very quickly. I think he'll let you on and then send you to Plaid immediately.
Randomness tomorrow, so you better be careful. Finish up, JJ. Go ahead.
Asshole.
I love you, JJ. You know I love you, man.
Yeah, you love bugging the shit out of me. Anyway, but you know, just a stroke of genius. You know, I can't even, you know, even what I disliked about the episode, I believe is just a small nitpick. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I didn't catch everything like you know, homework Chris Knight over there, but and Guy's card, that was excellent about the astronaut program. I never would have thought about that.
Yeah, I remember hearing that, but I didn't when I wanted to get.
I'm just saying, if that's what it's tying into, I never would have thought of that. But you know, I loved all the callbacks from Phase 3. Man, it was just, you know, this. It's just, it started connecting lines. Everything started making better sense. Even the first 3 episodes, it all started making better sense. I love the way it was executed now. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm with Danny on this. The first 3 episodes for me are completely unwatchable. Rewatchable. Unrewatchable. There we go. But episode 4, now that we had those first 3 episodes, now we understand what's going on in the real world, in real time, apparently. So it just makes complete sense. It was a brilliant episode. I thoroughly loved it.
Yep.
But is that really the real world? Ooh.
This ain't the damn Matrix, LDG.
Positive candor. What did you like about the episode, sir?
Yeah, I mean, I like certain parts of it. Just the how she got sucked into the I guess the town when she kind of put her hand through the force field and all of a sudden she was gone. I thought that was kind of a cool little effect, and then you had Jimmy Woo standing there wondering what the heck just happened and everything. Yeah, I mean, this episode was mainly just an exposition of Sword and them piecing together everything that we've kind of seen the last 3 episodes mainly. Because they flew the helicopter in, and it was like the blue and yellow colors of basically Captain Marvel, and then it turned into the different red and yellow inside of the inside Westview, I guess, basically. So yeah, it was pretty neat. And then once the beekeeper or the guy walking or crawling through the sewer became the beekeeper basically once he broke through, I guess, a certain point. So the theory about him being something else is basically shut now, because now we know he's Agent Franklin or whatever his name was. It's, and I guess I'm wondering if they'll keep doing this, like basically like 3 or 4 episodes and then you pull back, or are they going to kind of combine it now, or what, to keep maybe do so much inside and so much outside? I guess we'll have to see what next week's brings to it and everything.
Yep.
But just and then just seeing Vision, how he really looks, the Walking Dead man Vision, basically, was, even for that split couple of seconds and everything, was pretty pretty amazing how they pulled that off.
Yeah.
And showed that to us, that it's only Wanda's in control, obviously, of everything inside of Westview. And you notice that the cops said that they were from Eastview, right? You notice that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have complete opposites there. You have east and west. So I think that's going to play more into it as well as we go further and further in this and stuff like that. But and then I think what the cop car had, what on the back of it, 1611. It had some number on the back of the cop car. That refers to either an Avengers. I think it either refers to something with the Avengers, one of the issues or something like that, if I'm right.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a number on the back of the cop car. I forget what number it is, but
I think it. I'm sorry, I was going to say I think a lot of the numbers we see in this are going to be referencing to comic books that they're trying to. Okay, I didn't hear what you said. My son came in. I'm sorry, but no, those numbers are leading to hints of what's going to either happen or what they're pulling from. So
They got 1965 or 66, I'm thinking.
Okay, yeah, if it's 1966, then that's the year that
Yeah.
some comic came out of the Avengers were either Vision first debuted or whatever. I don't know.
I think you're right. I think I read that somewhere.
But yeah, that 1966 has something to do with that. Basically on the back of the cop car. But yeah, because they keep on dropping, Easter eggs here and there that, like I said, you gotta kind of, look up because every number that they drop definitely does mean something.
Mm-hmm.
And you notice there was no commercial, obviously, in this one,
right?
Yeah.
Because this really
there was, but it wasn't one pertaining to this episode,
right? Well, yeah. So like I said, this was mainly just kind of the exposition of Sword, and Darcy, who's now a doctor and of astrophysicist or whatever she is, breaking down the microwave. Is that what she says? Microwave radiation of some kind or another.
Mm-hmm.
Is the only way that this is able to reach them.
1966, Silver Surfer was introduced.
Okay.
And it was the first time the animated series was Marvel animated series was released on television.
So there's several hints.
But I don't know when television was actually colorized, but it might be the year that's in the bubble.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, because 66, was also probably the year when, like, Lost in Space and other TV shows went from black and white to color. Could be.
In 1966, Black Panther was introduced.
Yeah, there could be several reasonings behind 1966.
Yeah.
But yeah. But yeah, I just like how each episode is. This episode, didn't really expand the story too much, except for we got to see how Monica got tossed out of the out of Westview, basically, with Wanda using her powers, and she definitely used them to make the little hole in the house and just sling her right out of there, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then of course, when she's saying after she lands, it's all Wanda. Yeah, I think most of it is Wanda, but I still think that Mephisto is ultimately still involved in one way or another. So I guess we'll see, and of course, we'll have to see how the others are they deal with Agnes and all that kind of stuff as well in future episodes.
Excellent. And LDG, you're up.
Oh boy. All right. What was I going to say? All right. There we go. What I liked about the series, what I liked about the episode. Guys, there was a lot to like here, actually. And how do I say this? When I saw this episode, all I saw was a whole bunch of eye candy. I loved all the references they made, the superficial ones, the deep ones, the ones that throw you off guard. I loved them all. Like I said, I must have watched the episode like 4 times. Especially when I like anyone who knows me knows I love the Matrix and tearing apart those kind of storylines. Now, Feiger might not be no Wachowski sisters, but he's doing a pretty good job. The only problem is his execution team absolutely blows. The second you actually try to scratch the surface to any of the cool stuff we saw during this episode, it kind of falls apart. As long as you don't pay attention to the details and you're not someone like me who actually cares about this stuff, spending hours lining up all that footage to see if I could see anything else or any kind of hints or anything to be prepared for today, all I found was dead ends. But again, what I liked about it, I like where they're going. I like how they pulled the tablecloth from the table, and you're finally seeing a yellow brick road. Our feet are on the yellow brick road. We might not know where the hell we're headed to, but at least our feet are securely planted on a yellow brick road, or should I say, and pardon the pun, red brick road. The fact that they're pushing all the red color is a huge giveaway. And the one thing that I'm loving is how they're hinting Mephisto. Especially the neighbor, and I can't forget me for not getting her name right. What's her name? The neighbor
Agatha?
that keeps coming in. Agatha.
Agatha, yeah.
There is no doubt in my mind that she is related, if not in some kind of relationship with Mephisto. So every single time this woman opens her mouth, it has something to do with the devil. Okay. There are plain as day. I mean, even in the second episode, when they did the Bewitched intro, did you notice the 6 stars around the moon on the episode where they had the radio? Did you notice the 6 was missing?
No.
And that hexadecimal thing is 6 sides. There are so many references to the number 6. When the toaster was bleeping, you saw the bleeping red.
Yeah.
The helicopter red. The blood red. The big red. There's so many puns. And then the thing that gets me is when the neighbor, remember when the neighbor was talking with Wanda and she mentions Ralph? Isn't it, if you listen to what she says, it's always like she's talking like he can hear her. Whoa, Ralph! We'll never know our anniversary unless it was a beer named June 7th or June 2nd. and then when she's telling everybody about the when they were having the party, and she's like, anybody want my husband Ralph? Like she's talking like as if he can hear her saying this, like she's taunting him. But then when she says something that she doesn't want him to know, she's complete hush hush. She's like when she's talking about the devil's in the details, and she goes, "It's not all where he is." Or when he's scared of death, of someone outside of Wanda's hearing saying something that someone that might be listening can overhear, she has the look of death upon her face when she tells the guy who's chopping the hinges not to go any further, and she is literally like scared to death. And Wanda's not even in hear speech, as if someone is listening. Okay. A few interesting points that I can't wait to figure out is, why do things keep their re-alteration when they leave the force field? I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, that was kind of
when she was ejected, she was still wearing the clothes that she got morphed into. The beekeeper, what happened with the beekeeper? Now, I do have a weird theory that beekeeper is a huge secret that needs to be revealed. Something happened to that beekeeper. And the fact that, and this is on my video when I lined up the beekeeper, the rewind, and this is another thing I'm thinking too, that there's actually a third party going on. As us, the viewer, watching the show itself, watching the people watch Wanda, because we saw the rewind, but they clearly show, now either they're being incompetent or this is a huge clue. When I lined up the photos of the beekeeper coming up, when we watched the episode, the actual episode 2, we saw the rewind. But when they showed what actually happened, there was no rewind. The camera just starts zooming in on the guy looking at her while the bees were still moving around at regular speed. Something is happening with that bee guy.
When they, I was going to say, when they, anytime they were watching it outside on the TVs, when it would do the rewind that we saw, it literally be like a a quick distortion or something, and it'd just be like a jump cut, like boom, boom. And so what they see on the outside is completely different than what we were shown in the show. So for every one of those times, like for instance, when Monica Rambeau was no longer there, they were like, well, where'd she go? It wasn't like they saw what happened. It was just so something is editing it out for those people, what we see from the first three.
And I'm taking it a step further because the rewind, we never got to see the rewind effect. And I was very disappointed that we didn't see the scene with the beekeeper through their eyes. They didn't show that part. All we saw was the one scene where what's her name mentioned Ultron. And then we got that skip. But we saw a little bit more. Yes, given. But I was more important that when we saw the beekeeper actually going underneath the tunnel and sawing him pop up, that's when we should have saw something, and we didn't see a rewind or anything. It literally continued going on. But yeah, you're right. There is an edit going on that they're not seeing absolutely everything, but we're not, because if you notice, if you watch her watching a TV show, right, there was a scene, and I have it on my video, guys. You can see it. They're seeing different camera angles than we saw. Same exact scene. And I lined it up, and she was seeing different camera angles, and it was hard for me to line this up because I'm trying to line it up with scene for scene, and I was running into a problem because sometimes the scene that I was editing for episode 4 she would be seeing something different, a different camera angle completely. And I was like, oh, kind of threw me off. So they're seeing something completely different. Again, either a huge clue or absolute incompetence. I have no clue yet. Maybe there is something going on. I can't put my finger on it yet.
Well, we'll definitely see what's going on in the next couple of episodes. That's for sure. Me personally, I love this episode. I loved seeing that Wanda was behind it. But with that being said, I still think that there is a third party force. I do agree with that. Wanda is controlling everything that's going on in the bubble, but someone was messing with their feed, and I don't think that was Wanda. Wanda may know that people are trying to get in or something like that, but I'm not 100% sure if she knows that they're actually watching her. So I think Mephisto may have an issue with that. Plus, when you see the board and they show all the characters, the real people, that's one thing I like, that they showed that everybody was a real person and everybody had an ID except for Agatha or whatever her name is. Yeah, she was the only one that didn't have a photo ID there. So that shows me that maybe she's like Mephisto's wife or something like that. That's definitely what I think, you know.
So I'm thinking too.
The beginning, when they showed the blip, oh my gosh, I was like, yo, this is fucking wicked. Because when we seen it in Spider-Man, it was all jokey and shit, right?
I know, that annoyed the crap out of me.
It was so annoying. Yeah, exactly, you know. But this one, it's like, oh my gosh, like you've seen hectic, people were going crazy, like what the hell is going on?
The hospital scene was perfect for that. It was a perfect place to do it.
It was absolutely perfect, you know. Like I said, the Spider-Man scene, it make it seem like everything was a joke, but this showed how serious it was. You know, Monica not remembering what happened. So that shows that, because when Spider-Man came back from an Endgame, he kind of knew what was going on, right? Because he's like, oh, Doctor Strange talked to me and said it was 5 years. But when Monica woke up, she had no idea she was gone. So that shows that most people had no idea what was going on. I love the way she, where Wanda just threw her through the bubble and she went through all the buildings, like the house and everything. I don't think she has her powers yet, though. You know, I just think that's, you know, it's a movie thing. She would survive that kind of thing. I don't think she has any powers yet, but we'll see. I do understand that it would be hard to survive something like that, but we'll see if she has her powers yet. Her mother being the founder of S.W.O.R.D., I kind of like that too. You know, that was very interesting. And I'm on the kind of on the fence, like comics. I think Monica Rambeau, I think she's an amazing actress. She did a great job in this episode, man. So I like that. I also liked Marcy too. She's good to see her back and Agent Wu back. It was definitely good to see those people back in the show. Overall, I'm impressed. I can't wait to see the next episode. I still think they should have dropped the first 3 at one time and then did this one. You know what I mean? Like maybe 4 and this one. But the fact that we're getting a lot of the clues that we're getting and a little bit more, I like that. But there's still some mysteries that we don't know. So they're saving a lot of things. And Danny did say, or someone said that there was a link that the Flash from the X-Men was coming in as Quicksilver. He is, but we don't know if he's playing Quicksilver. That's the only thing yet. So we'll see what happens with that. All in all, man, I can't wait to see the next episode. I can't wait to see the end of the episode. I think they said the first 3 were kind of like the sitcom stuff. Then the middle 3 are going to be like what's going on, and then the last 3 are just going to be all out war. And if you watch Vision, whatever his real name is in real life, I can't remember his Vision's real name. Paul Bettany. On an interview, he says he's excited because he gets to work with someone that he's really wanted to work with for a long time, and there are rumors that it's Doctor Strange. So, yeah, I think it's going to get really, really good in the last couple of episodes.
Well, couldn't he be like one of the few people that could actually get in there and maybe work around what she's doing and actually suss out the situation? I mean, really, so yeah. And we go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, and if it had to do with Mephisto, he's another one that could come in there and really help with that. You know what I mean? So, but we see that Wanda has she's bad, man. She's not in her right mind anymore. And the fact that they show Vision's corpse goes back to an end scene and our end credit scene that was supposed to be in Endgame, where they show Wanda stealing Vision's dead body. So
interesting.
Yeah, cut that out. So if that's the case, then Wanda is animating his dead body. It's his dead body that's walking around there, and she's making it look like Vision. So I really like that, man.
Yeah, I think Visions is like one part of her conscience in this whole thing, because you've seen all of the episodes, right? He's questioning everything.
You're right. You're right. He probably is that part of her conscience that's like, yo, what's going on? You can't be doing this. You know what I mean? Because when she throws Monica Rambeau through the wall, she says I and stutters and has a look on her face was like, what did I do? And then she snaps back right away and goes back into her bad WandaVision character mode, right? So I think she may have a little bit of like what's going on, and that Vision part of her mind is what's going on with Vision. So that's very interesting as well. So now we'll get into what we didn't like in the episode. So Danny, what did you not like in this episode?
It's gonna be hard to say, bro, because the others was so fucking awesome. Awful. That this one here is awesome. So there's nothing that I really can't say I didn't like about it. I was pleasantly surprised, thoroughly pleased with this episode. So I see y'all theorizing a little bit. So I'm thought a theory that I heard, and then I think it's tied to the comic book. It's my understanding that Mephisto has plans for those kids. And that's why they're even going into this whole world thing. So you know how they portray the devil, that he's always 7 or 8 steps ahead and then scheming and stuff. So I think he's giving Wanda or letting her believe that she has powers, and some say so in this whole thing. But I think the prize is to get those 2 little boys. And if that's the prize, then I think that's going to be the only thing to snap her out of her delusional state that she's in now to come back to the old Wanda. She's going to have to fight for her children. And then she's going to have to let Vision go. Kind of how we saw that dread awful Wonder Woman, as she had to let Steve Trevor go. I think the same thing is going to happen, kind of sort of to this this show that we're watching now. But overall, there was nothing that I really didn't dislike about it at all. One thing is I want to know what happened to the beekeeper, because it seems like if Wanda throws you out, then you're out the whole made up world. But if there's a rewind or something, then I don't know whether that wipes you out of existence. You go somewhere else and like time out or somewhere in that world. They haven't revealed that yet. So I'm just really curious about where did the beekeeper go, and what exactly is his importance in the story.
I agree. Comics, you're up.
All right. The scene that I didn't like was the scene where Monica returns back the sword. The whole thing with the director felt really weird, and also the fact that where's Nick Fury? Why isn't he on the wall of the people that found his sword? Because that's kind of the feeling I got from.
But he's S.H.I.E.L.D. And
but at the end, I don't remember which movie. He's actually in space, and it was also the end of Spider-Man. I was getting
Spider-Man Far From
Home. They said he's in space dealing with sword business. So yes, you're right. He is S.H.I.E.L.D., but
this is before that.
No,
I
it's
think.
after.
Is this after? Because I thought I heard this was before that.
Okay.
Actually, this takes place right about the same time, honestly.
As I say, it takes place right around the same time because this is like maybe 3 or 4 weeks after the snap.
Mm-hmm.
Because because the director mentioned something. You're the first person to come back in 3 weeks. So all this that's taking place is shortly after. I wouldn't say the snap, but the return, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
So right around the same time. I have a feeling that he should be a part of S.W.O.R.D. at this point because of there's been scenes where he's dealing with stuff specifically with swords. So anyway, that was like my major nitpick with that scene. The other thing too, the director kind of annoyed me. He's like, well, there's no one else to take over, so I took it, even though it should be you, Monica. I'm the director. It's like he was very kind of unsure of himself. It's like, dude, if you're gonna be in that kind of position, you can't be wishy-washy. It's like, yeah, he may have been the right person at the time. You just kind of deal and soldier on. So it's like, come on, you've been doing this for 5 years. You think you'd have some confidence by now. So that the whole thing I found to be kind of irritating.
Can I give you a theory on that comics?
Sure.
Where Nick Fury is at, I think Mephisto might be kind of got him somewhere out the picture because we showed on another stream that during the Avengers, Nick Fury had contact with Mephisto, and they were discussing about the Tesseract, all this kind of stuff. So maybe Nick Fury would know what the hell Mephisto was trying to do. So Mephisto might have took him wherever.
Yeah, possibly, but it seems like he should at least had some involvement with the founding of S.W.O.R.D.
I think that director is a Skrull. That's what I think. I don't think he. Either he's under Mephisto's influence.
Well, that would make sense, but
I could understand if he was a Skrull, maybe.
Even if he's a Skrull, you think he would do a better job of being? I don't know.
I hear what you're saying.
Well, at times they did. Anytime we've seen them so far, at times they have the little weird glitch that they know who they're playing, but they don't know enough to dive it fully in, so they just stay far enough away from really going into things that maybe another person would actually know about that person.
Well, the thing that made the Skrulls so dangerous is that they're so hard to detect. Mm-hmm. I mean, it took quite a bit of detective work to figure out who was a Skrull. Mm-hmm. And again, going back to the whole thing with where they're kind of made the victim in Captain Marvel, that irritates me because I feel like it's going to confuse the audience going forward if they are going to be doing Secret Invasion and have the Skrulls as the villains, because everyone's gonna be like, well, why are they the villains now? It's not gonna make sense. Anyway, that's honestly my only complaint.
Unless they give us context within these shows.
Give us context.
Was that the one thing that you had issue was the Skrull reference?
No. The whole scene where she walks into S.W.O.R.D., the whole interaction I thought was kind of wonky.
You thought the guy didn't show like he was someone that should be in charge.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, was it Robert Redford's character when he was like the corrupt director of S.H.I.E.L.D.? I mean, it's like, have some backbone.
Yeah, I hear you.
And also the whole thing with, no Nick Fury on the wall there, that kind of irked me too. It's like he had involvement at this point.
Absolutely. He's even if he is S.H.I.E.L.D., he is a founder of S.W.O.R.D.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he met the Skrulls first. He was up in space with them. So he's a founder of S.W.O.R.D.
Well, he's up in space after this point.
Yeah, I know, but
we don't have any absolute knowledge of if that was just his first interactions with them. I'm just saying, I understand that that's an issue, but I'm not positive if this is the time. By this time, he would have had. We don't know exactly how long at this point
Well, I'm not saying that he would be a director. I'm just saying, they should have had his picture on the frickin' wall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they should.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see it.
Wasn't Monica's mother supposed to be like need to know classified? Like, why do they have her picture up there in the first place?
I don't think she was need to know classified.
Her being the creator of the place wasn't need to know classified.
I don't think so.
Okay,
I don't know. It's like, well, think that she's like this character we met for like one movie, and quite frankly, was played probably one of the worst actresses to portray her. And it's like, meanwhile, we have Nick Fury, who's been around, since the beginning of the MCU.
I agree. Chris, what did you didn't like?
The sword thing was kind of quick and just kind of thrown in there, so I don't disagree with what comics said. The one, and like I said, I'm with LDG on this. It irked me that they didn't give us any hint towards it yet. What the hell happened to the beekeeper? What happened to that guy that went down there? We know Monica got thrown out. We know that Wanda has seen this guy, so she knows that he's not supposed to be there or something. So where did he go? That's the thing.
I think we'll find out in the future if they're not being neglectful.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like, man, you've shown this guy twice, and both times it was an afterthought. So that's why I do believe it's a much more important character.
Exactly what I was going to say.
But there's still no reference. Now, maybe the jump rope thing might have some weird connection to it, because I don't know. I don't know.
It's really weird. I just think the fact that his air hose turned into a jump rope was really it to fit the time period.
But
yeah.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. And again, I said that originally I thought maybe because Monica was able to go through the energy field. We know that the drone went through. We know she's gone through. We know the guy that becomes a beekeeper, he went through. So, I mean, I don't think that it's not something you can do. But
they had to do something, because if it would have been anything that would have remained, like let's say it turned into a garden hose, right? You think that was my first thought, garden hose, right? No, it turned into something that can't even transmit air anymore. Like you can't breathe through a freaking jump rope. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be this guy's oxygen. Yeah. So it makes you. They had to turn it into something that would snap off. Why would they need something to snap off? Because what happens to him after he steps out of the hole? You know what I mean? Even if he got flung, or if he was something happened to, they needed him separated from
I know.
World.
Yeah.
And they chose that jump rope because they know that would they thought that was cute, snapping. I bet.
Maybe. I just think that you've shown him twice now. I know they might be trying to hold some stuff back, but the beekeeper thing, it's just like he's there, but we just
also
totally
makes you wonder if they
it.
did that, right? If it did, why didn't the drone turn into a paper airplane? You know what I mean? Like it makes you think that something out there, and I still think there is an outer force, whether it's Mephisto or whatnot, that is choosing certain things. So they knew that, you know what I mean? It shows that because that's something really outside of the ball turning into that jump rope, that maybe someone chose to say, okay, we need this guy by himself. I'm going to, Mephisto turned it into something that would break. And it shows that maybe there is an outside force choosing what's what.
So Shield's the one that showed up to Thor's hammer, right? So why is this sword showing up to this? This is a terrestrial thing that kind of bothered me, because sword shows up for a non-terrestrial thing, but Shield shows up to a non-terrestrial thing, but sword shows up to a terrestrial thing. So it's like that kind of flips the script. Again, when we think about what these two organizations are supposed to be, sword's supposed to be for outside of earthly realm type things, and Shield was within earthly realm. Right. Now, granted, Thor being a god, the god of thunder, Odin, all that does have a terrestrial origin to it because of Norse mythology. So I guess maybe that's what they were they don't think about that. But I'm trying to figure out why Shield wasn't the one called here, but it felt a lot like the scene we saw in Thor, because all the people around trying to figure out what's this thing, what's going on. So that was very reminiscent of that. But it bothers me that. Go ahead.
Deej points out in the chat, Shield at this point in time, Shield is no more. It was disbanded because after the Hydra infiltration.
It's the replacement.
That's true. Right. That's true. That's true. I mean, okay, so that's a good point. But I don't know.
Were you also pissed off that you caught her watching the commercial, and they didn't say anything about the commercials? Really,
that's true. Because the commercial should have done something. Because if they know by now she's transmitting this, I'd pay attention to that commercial. What's that commercial saying? Mm-hmm. That's a very good point.
They showed her seeing it. They showed her seeing the guy with the suit and the watch. They showed it.
But it goes by real
quick.
Yeah.
And it went by real quick.
And then that's the thing, right? It's like, wait, we're watching this supposed to be Wanda's, and there's commercials. They didn't snap and think that would be funny, like why the hell would there be commercials? So
yeah, if they figured out that this has to be a transmission from inside there, why did they add commercials? I mean, you'd be paying attention to that. Maybe they'll go back to it, and maybe that'll be a aha moment they have. Wait a minute. Why are there commercials in this when it's not really TV? Maybe they will. But yeah, they were just little. Again, some of us say it's nitpicking. I don't think it's anything horrible, but I do feel like comics said the sword office scene was kind of rushed. It was just kind of thrown together, like they had like one take to do it, and they did it and got it done. Maybe, I don't know.
I think the commercials will more have to do with what happened to her, right? The first is
that's fine, but that's like a combination,
Hydra. Right?
It's like a combination for them to figure out, because there's other things going on in those. It's not all about Stark or Hydra. It's other things within that.
Yeah, it's a timeline of what occurred to her, right? The
I
bombing
can
of
see
her
that.
hometown, that was Stark.
Her memories.
Yeah.
Maybe
Memories being put into a commercial. I could see that. And to be honest, I think the commercials don't have anything to do with anything. I think, and I'm like, they have to be something, right? And now I never thought of that. Maybe they're just re-glimpses of her past.
How about this?
Just being brought to the surface for a minute.
How about this? How about, I guess she's got to sleep. Maybe when she sleeps, it's her dreams, because we all know that dreams are not exactly what they seem, but they do show representations of things that may have actually happened to you. So she, what happens when somebody sleeps? It goes black. Well, instead of going black, what her mind does is then transmits out what she's dreaming.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I mean,
the commercials she saw happened right after the glitch. Right after the radio glitch, that's when the commercial hit.
That's true.
Right after
that. I wonder if the toaster was actually using Morse code with the blinking red light.
Ooh.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Yeah. It's something that's been mulling around in my head for a while, ever since I saw the episode.
But little nitpicks. I mean, really, honestly, this is the best episode. I liked the other episodes, but they were just playful and fun to watch. Now, when we pick it apart and see what was actually going on, definitely this is probably the best episode.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Excellent. Gaishka, you're up.
Man, I'm disappointed in all of you, man. Seriously.
Haven't gotten to me yet, but go ahead.
But how can you guys not be upset the fact that nobody gave Darcy a fucking cup of coffee? Shit out.
Absolutely.
She figures the shit out. She tells people, get me damn TVs, and nobody can get her a cup of coffee.
For real.
Darcy's a grown woman. She can get her own damn coffee.
Damn. Yeah, that's true too, but come on. A little bit of respect to the girl that just freaking figured out what these guys were trying to figure out for weeks, right? And couldn't decipher the freaking code within the code.
When I worked at an office, I said, if I said someone get me a cup of coffee, the response would be, get your own damn coffee.
I guess. Anyways, that was one of the things that, that didn't bug me, but I was just like, just get her a cup of coffee so she shuts up. But no, I didn't really have anything to nitpick, but the whole beekeeper scene with the the wire rope. I know it's part of that, era of toys, but it was a breathing apparatus, right? So a hose, exactly like a hose would have made more sense. That's the only thing. That's the only thing I would nitpick on it. About the fact that he wasn't thrown back out. Maybe he was held for interrogation by whoever else is involved in this to know how much they know. He knows. That could be a point of it to look at as well. Another thing that I was upset while doing on the research for all this, right, about the shape, right?
Yeah, that's right. You said coffee. Right? My bad. I grabbed it.
So the whole thing with the hexagons, right? Hexagon 6, it's everything six-sided. So I really think Mephisto has to do with this whole thing, because for me, it's the thing that makes the smartest villain to use to connect everything that's coming. X-Men, mutants, Fantastic Four. It ties in with Doctor Strange. I think it does. This is what it is. But when I was looking up on stuff, right, everybody was saying octagon on the web. I'm like, it's not a fucking octagon. It's a hexagon.
Yeah, it's not octagon.
No, your geography, your geography,
geometry.
Do you think he's the one that put up the force field?
Maybe.
No, I'm strongly thinking it's her magic.
I think he's part of it, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think
there's codes, because they said there's different type of transmissions within, right? So I think he's part of it. He's part of the filtering of what comes in, what goes out. So it's also like if you see on Guardians when they warp, right? It's also the same shape, right? It's a hexagon as well. So is it some kind of like port? Is it some kind of technology that to transmit between space? Is this the Eternals coming in as well? And sky's the limit. But yeah,
well, it's funny that you say that, because the Reaper's helmet was seen inside.
Mephisto may be her.
Maybe what?
Somebody, Daddy.
Damn, you just get a mosquito bite.
Must be somebody.
You okay?
What is it?
What is that? Are you showing me what you were saying, or I have to get my special decoder ring?
You have a hexagon on your shoulder?
Oh yeah, I did.
Okay.
No fool. I gotta check my diabetes with that.
Okay. No, I see.
Okay, got it. But you saw the Reaper's helmet in the floorboard, and wasn't he a technology-based villain?
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
I don't know much about him, but maybe.
I think it gotta be Mephisto helping her, because how can she sustain that power for so long? How she's to create that world, to create that force field, she is constantly tapping her magic powers. So something keeping her up. So I think Mephisto is keeping her up using his power, and maybe he got the witch in there, Agatha, whatever the hell her name is, kind of helping her too, because there's no way she can sustain all that and do all that stuff and still be functioning.
I'll agree that he could be giving her a power boost, but it's obvious that when her concentration lapses, people come out of it. Just like when she was talking with the radio scene, when she heard the guy saying Wanda, sure, her concentration was distracted for a second, and then even the blonde girl's like, "Who the hell are you?" Like she didn't know where she was all of a sudden. Like she's out of the role and she's being a regular person now. She's like, "What the hell? Who the hell are you?" And it happened again when she was having the baby. Every time she gets distracted, you see weird things starting to happen. So I think it's her. And I think this is going to go back to, and I'm sorry to say it, as much as I want to see the mutants come back, they're going to play her off the child of the stones. I think we're going to find out that it wasn't just a mind stone. She got her powers off, that she's exhibiting signs of all the stones. Because right now we're seeing time. We're seeing the time gem. We're seeing reality gem. We're seeing mind gem, right? We're seeing all these examples of weird powers that she might end up being the witch that has the powers of the Infinity Gauntlet. Maybe not extreme. Maybe not like
I thought she could have power on the Tesseract.
That's a stone. That's an Infinity Stone.
Yeah, but again,
I'm saying about that doctor, whatever, gave her and her brother her powers from he used the power of the Tesseract, correct?
But the stones didn't give her the power. The stones brought out their powers, and he specifically.
That's what people are saying, but
No,
that wasn't
what they say.
Yes,
That's
it
what they
is.
say.
Yes, he does say that in the movie. Yeah, because I watched it again.
They do specifically
They
say
say
that.
that they said that while they were experimenting on them, their powers were revealed or something like. I don't remember the exact words.
Yeah, so he does.
Yeah, look up the exactness there, but I mean, we are seeing different powers that a normal witch wouldn't have. The big red herring was that whole time glitch. Like, how did that time glitch happen? You know what I mean? Like, when we know we saw her interacting, and then they only saw a split cameras. You know what I mean? Like, what? Like, what?
Yeah, but if that's true, the time when we see Doctor Strange use the time stone during the final battle in Doctor Strange, the people that are with him do notice everything. They're all working to move things back into place. I mean, so I'm not sure if
that could
maybe certain people can't see it. Maybe other people can't see it. Maybe they can, but I'm not sure if that's exactly true either. I don't know. You could be right.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to bring back. I don't think they're going to try to bring back everything that has to do with the Infinity Stones after pretty much writing that movie out.
You never know.
I don't know.
Remember, the stones aren't technically destroyed.
I know.
They're still there.
So,
All right, JJ, you're up. Unmute my friend.
Well, now there's only two things that are bugging me. One of them might be just a misunderstanding on my behalf, but I'll go with the simplest first. And what's with the fucking bees? So what? He's a beekeeper. Why are there bees around him?
I said that too once. That was an interesting observation.
Yes, I guess that's just a fact. Might be.
Maybe, but like I said, it was like there was no real logical reason for him to be there. Big deal. He's got a beekeeper outfit on. Bees are not attracted to the outfit. I'm like, so why are the bees there?
What if?
Yeah, what if?
No, JJ, you just made me. Wow, lightning just struck my head. What if he's just not a human? What if those bees are the representation of some kind of aura around him? Maybe he has a power. Maybe he's special. That's why we never saw what happened to him, because he's not a regular human. Those bees could have been representatory to something that person has. That's a good thought, man.
But like I said, it was the simplest. And then, all right, the whole beginning of the episode. Monica, going through the return. She's trying to find her mom, trying to find out information on a patient. But when she comes across this doctor, and she told her, your mom died 3 years ago. Well, if the snap happened and apparently people lost 5 years, where's the other 2 years? Unless it's just bad math on Disney's part. Because they're talking about, well, yeah, my mom's cancer got better, blah blah blah. Well,
she died 2 years after she disappeared.
But you see, there's no context in that. It's just saying, hey, your mom died 3 years ago.
Yeah, I know. I think that's mainly for people who understand that the snap was 5 years. I agree. There was definitely missing context there for people who didn't know it was 5 years that had passed.
Oh, I knew. That's why I question it, because I know.
Yeah.
When Thanos snapped to erase everybody, to when Iron Man snapped, that was a 5 year gap.
That was a 5 year gap.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
From
makes more sense.
Yeah, from the time of the snap, from the time to the return is 5 years.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
So we're talking about Mephisto. This is from the Loki trailer. And I'm thinking that, again, it's a very good hint. Again, all of this stuff's going to be figured out through these series, and they're all going to have tie-ins together.
Mhm.
Now, I don't know what the scene's going to be, but that is Mephisto, quite possibly right there in the stained glass, or a reference to him.
Interesting.
Okay, I forgot about that part. DJ just pointed something out. D just pointed something out in the chat. It says, yeah, the daughter said her mom died 3 years ago, then said 2 years after you disappeared.
Yeah, that's right.
That's 5 years.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because the the cancer reappeared. That's what I was trying to think.
But it's like, okay, people that was in the snap, it's like time still progressed for them. How does that make sense?
No, time
It
didn't
did
progress.
No, it didn't progress
know
for
that.
them.
I know that. I'm saying the way Deej pointed it out, it's like, okay, there was 5 years, but it was like there was still progression. 2 years after she died, she disappeared. Okay, well now she's back.
No. She didn't die. She didn't die. What it said is
her mom died 3 years ago.
2 years after
2
you
years
disappeared.
after she bleeped. That's 5 years.
The person, her mom, time would have gone forward. Everybody who is still on Earth, time went forward.
Oh, okay.
Because
Where Monica came back and was like, "What just happened?"
Yeah. They explained
I
that.
missed that. Okay, I understand.
They explained that in Far From Home, because in Far From Home, some of them graduated, some of them didn't. So some of them have to go back to school because they
Like
didn't.
with Peter was left out, and he basically had to return back to where he was.
And Monica Rambeau says she in the episode, she says, I was only sleeping for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
but no, that was the part of the equation I apparently missed, because I was
Damn,
assuming
KJ, you sound like somebody who just watched the episode a half hour ago.
I did.
Couldn't keep a straight face on that. Sorry.
Have I done something to piss you off? You keep fucking with me?
Just
What?
having fun with you, man. Hey, you do the same thing with me. I don't want to hear it. All right.
Hey, why you fucking with me, bro?
I'm sorry.
What the fuck,
man? I love you, man. My bad.
So what? I missed the equation, but I was under the assumption. I only know. I do know that half of Eternity's population got wiped out with the snap. I was assuming her mom was one of them. That's why it kind of.
No, her mom was not one of them. Yeah.
Yeah. My bad.
It's all good.
My bad.
It's all right. If you didn't have a bedtime, you'd be able to watch when I do the watch parties on Fridays. Man, I'm really being bad today. I'm sorry.
I know. Positive. What didn't you like about the episode, my friend?
Well, I didn't like that they basically had to show, I guess, people who didn't catch on in the first 3 episodes. Basically, that's again what they did this episode, is reveal kind of what happened during the first 3 episodes to people who didn't really get that. So yeah, this episode didn't really advance the story much, basically, when you think about it.
I think it answers a lot of stuff that weren't within
that.
Yeah. I mean, it lets us know that it gave us a look into, I don't want to say why it's happening, but it definitely gave us some clarification that none of us had from the first 3 of what's really going on to an extent. But I mean, I understand what you're saying though.
Yeah, continue positive.
Okay. And number 2, yeah, I think LDG should be at least minus 5 billion points going into the final of your thing on Thursday. But anyway,
that's about I can look into that.
Is that it? All right.
Yeah,
All right. LDG, you're up. Yeah.
As soon as, there we go. Yeah, that's for you, Chris. All right. What didn't I like about it?
What'd you do? Oh, really? That's
He gave
for
you a
me.
virtual bird.
That's
just
for
calling you
me.
number one. That's all. You're number one in my book, brother.
Yeah.
Always.
Well, I'll show you how number one you are in my book.
You want Morse code? I'll give you Morse code.
You know what?
All
On
right,
second,
guys,
I'll put that avatar back up. It's a lot better to look at.
Oh God, you like it because you can sit and rotate. Anyway, what I didn't like about it,
only you have to show me first.
Yeah. Okay, guys, love the episode. What I did not like about it was a few foul ups, and having a degree in media production, these things stick out like a sore thumb. And for those of you who like attention to detail, maybe you already caught some of these, maybe you didn't, but here's what I caught. There was a number of foul ups in continuity. I love a story where you make a show that's about secrets and fog and you know what I mean and all that, and then when you reveal them, what you reveal better be rock frickin' solid, because I mean, what's the point of making? What do you think the viewers are going to do that want to watch a show that's all about this misdirection and understanding things and deepness and all that? When you finally reveal it, your execution of it better be on effing spot. Okay, because I tore this episode inside and out. You can ask Anzo, sitting here, why are you wasting your time, LDG? I'm sitting here going clip to clip to clip and lining it up and everything, spending hours doing this stuff. And I noticed a number of things. And I did this for a reason, because I was like, if what they were revealing was rock solid, I shouldn't have had half the nightmare I did. And a few things that I noticed. One is a lot of the scenes didn't line up. When you line up what happened in the second episode with the fourth episode with the beekeeper and the radio scene, both on my channel, by the way, Geeks Enjoyed Erotica, they didn't line up at all. Not only did they not line up and not have different things, like, for instance, the note I made about when the woman was watching a TV, they were seeing completely different camera angles than we were seeing. It was like almost they were watching a different version of the show. Literally,
perhaps that is camera angles. Perhaps that is show that it isn't all just Wanda.
Again, either they're really brilliant or this is incompetence. Don't know yet, but this is what I figured out here. Not only did we see different camera angles, but we didn't see things like the blips. The blips in the show were different. Okay. Some of the reenactments, like when she says no, when she sees the beekeeper, those were two different no's completely. But yet when I lined up the other video, a lot of the scenes were exactly the same. But like, an actor can't get a redo 100%. I get that. But a lot of it was 100% lined up perfectly. Same scene, just in a different episode. But that no was completely different. Like it was like a whole different take. Okay. What else? The music that we were hearing. You notice when certain things happened, we as the viewer heard the music, but they didn't. Okay. That was weird. Why mention the whole, why is it? Because when he was doing the hello Wanda, you read me, whatever, he was like, are they still in the same decade? Well, why are you asking, are you still in the same decade when you know you have to have a TV from that decade to watch the stream? That didn't make sense. Okay?
That's a good point. Yeah.
There were a number of just like, if you just took what they gave you at face value, it was great. It was exhilarating. I literally had, like the last time I had this feeling is when I watched Dragon Ball Z for the first time. You had that feeling where you could feel your skin. They were revealing stuff. Things were lining up. But the second you tried to scratch the surface, things weren't adding up. Matter of fact, one of the scenes that when she was watching, and it had to do with the radio scene, when I lined it up, it would be 1-to-1. All right. And this is episode 2 and this is episode 4. It would line up, but then this would skip back in time and go together with scene 4. It didn't make sense whatsoever. Like it was a backwards time jump. And I show this in that video. You have to see it to understand what I'm talking about. But the editing job, like, again, I don't know if this is the editor's fault, or the people behind the scenes when they were doing the special effects, that they knew what they were supposed to be showing us and saying, okay, guys, this needs to line up with the episodes they just watched perfectly. Okay. And not be obviously fragmented upside down and whatnot, because if anybody scratches the surface on this, they're gonna see that we are being lazy and just a production value. Now, if this is Joe Schmo's radio edit over on a Ralph Street over there, I wouldn't care. But when you're a $1 billion company like Disney, this type of production screw ups should not be acceptable. All of this should be quality checked. It should be fine-tuned, polished to a T. So when you're giving it to us, man, ain't nobody gonna be able to, you know what I mean? Ain't nobody gonna have anything to say to this. This is golden inside and out. They can tear it apart as much as they want, and they're gonna find exactly what they're looking for. So my only issue with this episode was the fact that if you scratch the surface of any of the things they were actually giving you, you saw screw ups, you saw mess ups, just like in The Mandalorian, where you had that one shot with the guy in his jeans and his shirt. That never should pass production. You know what I mean? Someone needs to catch that stuff. Besides that, that's basically it. Everything else was great about the episode. I can't wait to watch the next episode and see what they do.
After watching The Mandalorian, you should be well aware that the continuity people aren't the greatest.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I mean, there's.
No, go ahead.
You're asking.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant to say,
for every little angle to match up.
What I'm afraid of, and this is what I'm afraid of, and if I see more of it, is the fact that I think, like I said, either they're brilliant and they have yet to reveal why I'm seeing all these little mess ups and whatnot, which if they do that, I will shut up, I will bow down and put my foot like Danny did at the beginning of the episode today. But it seems like they were misleading us on purpose on the first 3 episodes to make us think, do they know where they are? Does she know what she's doing? Even the scene when she realizes that she mentioned Ultron, if you rewatch the episode 4 part, there was a slight change in the acting. And it looks like they did it on purpose. And they said, okay, listen, we're going to lie to the audience. And I want you to act the scene as if you don't know if you're in control or not. And then when we redo it in episode 4, I want you to redo the scene like you know what's going on, like you are. And that's why that explains the differences in the no, because the first no that she said, we thought, okay, maybe that's what's going on no. But then when you watch episode 4 and you hear her say no to the beekeeper, it's a bitch, you ain't supposed to be here. No. You know what I mean? Like I'm about to do something to you. No. Okay, it was a different type of no. Same thing with when she was talking to Monica when she found out about the damn Ultron. At first, she was like, "What did you say?" And you didn't know if she said, "What did you say?" Like I don't know who Ultron is. But in episode 4, when you saw the acting, it was like, "What'd you say, bitch? What?"
It's like taking them out of character, right?
Yeah,
That's
they're taking them out of the character and showing us something that we didn't see the first time. That we're supposed to just say, oh, it's so smart. Oh my God. No, sorry.
But what if it is exactly for that reason?
As I was saying, I'm leaving enough room, 2 sides of the coin. Each coin has more than 2 sides than that. I'm leaving room just in case, but that's what I'm saying for now. We'll see next week.
We will see. Now, I'll just make it quick because I'll be honest with you. There's not really much. Actually, there's nothing I really didn't like about this episode. I see everything that everybody was saying and all this stuff, but didn't bother me. You know what I mean? I was okay with it. I enjoyed it. I watched the episode 3 times, so nothing wrong with it for me. But with that being said, we're just going to go with our final thoughts and our grades. So, Danny Graham, you can start it off because I know you got to bounce soon.
You're muted, Danny.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I gave it an A, bro. A, outstanding. I hope they keep it up. Like I said, I had to eat a little bit of crow. I still don't care for the first 3 shows, even though they did tie it up. But I'm going for A. I'm thinking it's going to be good. And then like Paul Bettany said in his interview, Anzo alluded to earlier, I think the last 2 or 3 episodes are going to be fire, even more so than it is now. So it went from an F plus to an A. So that's it.
Excellent.
Real quick, fellas, but I appreciate it. Thanks. Catch y'all later.
See you, Danny.
Peace. Take care, Danny. Comic, yeah.
I don't hand out A's lightly, and I'm definitely giving this episode an A. I really enjoyed it.
Nice. Good. JJ?
All in all, compared to the first 3 episodes, I will definitely and proudly give this episode an A.
Okay. And positive candor.
I guess I'm in the minority. I'm only going to give it a B. I think they got better episodes coming, so I'm not going to give it this one an A. Because to me, this was nothing but exposition, so that's why it's not getting an A to me.
That's fair.
Not an issue. Chris Knight, you are up.
I'd give it an A. I mean, I was sitting around the B because I wanted to see what they did with it, and they did kind of hit a home run with this as far as they get. Okay, you know what? If you want to dive into every minute little detail like Mr. LDG down there, you're never going to be happy with it because it's never going. There's no production or editor or anybody out there that's going to be able to do that, except for maybe you, LDG, but you would only do it as an afterthought. Here's the thing. These people have a timeline. Put yourself in that timeline and see what happens then. And there was enough there that it wrapped up a lot of stuff in a nice little bow, gave us the context we needed, gave us the direction that they're trying to take. Let's see where we go after this, but I give it an A.
Excellent. And Gaishka?
I would say A minus. Yeah.
A minus?
Yeah, because like Positive said, you know, there's definitely, I feel there's going to be better episodes than this one coming up.
Excellent.
You can give out more than one A a season, you know.
Yeah, but it was good, but I don't know. I don't give out A pluses or A's lightly, so it was a great episode. Don't get me wrong.
You can't give out an A plus because it doesn't exist.
It does exist.
No, it doesn't.
Just because you never got one in school doesn't mean
you cannot get more than 100%. Sorry, I'm just saying that.
You know,
I had a mother who was a teacher. You don't get more than 100%. There's only 100%. Listen, if I had 150% of my money, I'd be much happier, but I can't have
Why
that.
do you think they call it extra credit?
Yeah.
Exactly.
For the people who didn't want to do the original assignment so they could make up.
There's the voice of experience for you. The one person who actually did it for that reason. Yeah, I can see Chris now.
Actually, I had decent grades, guys, but no, they never handed out A pluses when I was in. You got an A, you got an A, so that's how it was.
All right, and LDG.
All right, like you guys know, I'll never give an arbitrary singular grade for something. But as far as presentation, I'll give it an A. As far as execution, I'll give it a B minus. Again, in 1 second, I'm sorry, my backstage is talking too loud. There we go, shut him up. As far as what Chris said earlier, don't be fooled by that. Just because he puts words together doesn't actually make it true. Yes, this is not
don't be fooled by him putting words together because it's not necessarily true.
This isn't the 13th Chapel. This isn't the David statue, okay? This is a little sitcom with $1 billion sitting behind it. Of course, they could have made it better. That's the definition of better.
You are giving people way too much credit. Look at the current situation across Hollywood right now. They don't do this. We have lesser people writing these days. We have lesser actors. We have lesser producers. We have lesser directors. We have lesser writers, creators, editors. Everybody's been given this pass.
Speaking about better, thanks to him, I'm gonna make my stream better by having this beautiful idea. Putting a little icon up here. When it's yellow, that means you can try to interrupt me. When it's red, shut the hell up. Listen,
and I'll still do it.
All right, I'll simmer down, people.
Yeah, they could have closed up all that. Some of that stuff was uneffing called for. You know, the resources that they have, and I don't have to go through it all and say it all. A lot of the stuff they could have tidied up. I don't want to hear about timelines when you have $1 billion behind backing you. Okay, that means you have the resources, you have the talent, you have the people that are prepared. Proper planning prevents piss poor performance. Okay, you just don't walk into, snap your fingers. You just can't Thanos snap a show like this that's supposed to be top level production and make these simple little mistakes. Now, again, whether this is some grand scheme, and I would love to see that. I really do want to see that. Maybe everything I've said today, they're gonna blow my mind and freaking have some kind of uncanny freaking explanation for it that makes complete sense and blocks up every hole. But unfortunately, experience walks. Okay, and what we've been experiencing right now is Disney has been lack in their production value. They have made simple mistakes in treating certain film productions like, oh, that'll pass. That's okay. What? He's in jeans. All right, he's fine. No, we've seen it before. So I'm afraid this is going to be some bad news. But all in all, and like right now, the one thing that I'm worried about right now is the fact that we don't know if she knows about Mephisto. Let's say Mephisto comes in right now, because obviously, like the one huge giveaway I don't think anyone mentioned, unless when I was walking my boy, was when she blasted Monica out through the wall and Super Saiyaned her through like time and space, right? When she finished doing that, she was like, what did I just do kind of thing? You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden that went away. Like that feeling just went away. And that gave me a clue that Mephisto, because one of his powers is the manipulation of just like she can manipulate people's thoughts, and that maybe his spell over her, because it like grabbed onto her. You know, that was her for a second saying, "What am I doing?" And then she got back into the role, and that just went away. Now, are they going to show that off in another episode where we think she knows about him, but then all of a sudden she does know about him, and hands down knows about him, and she acts completely different, knowing that there's some background force or something. So I have no clue. We'll see. But yeah, that's my grades I would give it.
I agree. Now, for me, I'm going to give it an A+. I mean, I liked it better than last episode. I gave last episode A+, so I got to give this one an A+ as well. I'm like, maybe I should be a little bit, because I'm not giving myself any room, right? If an episode comes out that's better than this one, then again, I'm going to be giving it another A+ again, but whatever. It is what it is. To me, I think this episode was an A+. I really liked it. I loved all the, secrets that we got, and I love the fact that there's still secrets to come. So
did you make, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Damn streamers. Did you make note of what you showed me that I didn't even pay attention to in the credits? Did you guys catch the change in the credits?
Oh, right. Yeah, did any of you guys catch that? Okay, so at the end of the credits, when they're showing all the little lights and things,
pixels, pictures, and the
first couple of ones, they show Vision and they show his eye, but in this one, they showed the dead Vision.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
Dead Vision. So I like that. I think there might be little secrets in those little scenes too. I might have to go back and watch it, but just to sit there through it, it's like, really, but
glad to know that they had a deadline, that they couldn't just do an extra dead eye in there.
Well,
too many deadlines to do some extra work.
I just
about the leak though.
Yes. I actually seen
there is a leak.
I seen the leak.
I didn't see the leak. Who leaked?
Of episode 6.
Leak of episode 6. Yeah.
I'll show it to you later. Have you seen it, comics?
Yeah. No, I have not. I didn't realize there was a leak.
Do I have it? I have it. Maybe I'll show it to you guys in the backstage.
Yes.
But like I said, I'm very excited for the next couple of episodes. We'll see what happens. We're gonna close it up now, though, guys. I do appreciate once again everybody that
Danny need to say something.
Oh no, Danny just came on yet. I really do appreciate all you guys coming on again. I do appreciate that once again. Or did you have something to say, Danny? Just to be sure. All right. So yeah, comics. Talk about your channel, man.
All right, everyone. I'm Comics Division. You can follow me on my channel, Comics Division, as well as social media, specifically Minds and Twitter at Comics Division. Every Monday and Thursday, I have a live stream Obviously, I'm here on Sunday nights, and I'm also on Friday Night Tights every Friday.
Yeah,
and occasionally I pop up, in a random channel as well.
I watch your stream on Thursday. Very good.
Oh, I'm glad you're enjoying it, man. Thanks for hanging out with us.
JJ, you're up.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy JJ. I'm not going to go into myself too much. I'm just going to say this real quick. Everybody on the panel, go to their channels, like, share, subscribe. Get these guys' numbers up. Get this guy here even more subs. They all work hard to put out what they do. Some are new, some are old, some are midway. They deserve your support. If you're here watching them now, that means you like what you're seeing. Just support everybody on the panel. You like, share, subscribe, get the word out. We don't grow unless you put the word out. So I appreciate everybody in the chat for being here. And once again, thanks for having me on, guys. I enjoyed I enjoyed the show. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you for being here. And just to let you guys know, I have everybody's YouTube channel in the description box, so you don't have to really. I see Austin is doing a great job in this chat. I do appreciate that too. But if you don't go there, you can go to the description box. Everyone's there. Positive Candor, your channel's up, my friend.
All right. Yep. Catch me on Positive Candor or on Twitter, Positive Candor.
Excellent. And Chris Knight.
Well, it's really simple. Real Review 3000, Chaos Central. I'm here, there, I'm everywhere. Just go by. If you like what you see, please subscribe. Make sure you hit everybody's bell on their channels. Like I said, even though YouTube isn't necessarily always right or on time, because I have gotten things like, for a long time, I was getting the rule of 3. I was getting the notifications that we were live on Saturday, like 3 days later. So, YouTube can screw up. But the thing is, if they ever get it right, that bell is really important to all of us because it lets you know when we're live, and it helps the algorithm, helps the numbers, all that great stuff. And yeah, so
absolutely.
Thank you for having me on.
Thanks
Yeah,
for
you can
coming.
find me at the Pascal Scenario for my clips of gaming. You can find me at Chaos Central's. Pretty much jump on everybody on Chaos Central shows. Mine's coming up there as well. Yeah, so that's about it. Just kick those links. They're all there. All the information.
Yes, sir. LDG, last but not least.
What's going on, guys? LDG Pixels here for all your tech needs and support. Free tech support, guys. Support channel. Any issues with your computers, websites, need help with the algorithm, graphics, audio, name it, I do it. Also hosting over at Geeks Enjoy Nerdrotica, the waiting room, the stream between the stream, or the place where nerding out is a turn on. Remember, it's not porn, it's Nerdrotica. Also with a new show. This time it is porn. Late night nerdgasm, guys. We are on episode 5 and we are having a blast. Rock and roll. And once again, promoting Free the Net, guys. Project Prometheus. And just remember,
Inevitable.
That's a Phantom Zone there if I've ever seen one. He keeps trying that.
Trying to catch it before I got to the inevitable part. Trust me. I was like, shit, I missed it. Yeah, that's right. All right, guys. So once again, I do appreciate you guys checking up and coming onto the show. Guys, this was a great episode of WandaVision. Make sure you guys check it out for next week where we do episode 5. Episode 5, right? Yeah, episode 5, man. Comics, JJ, Positive, Chris, Geishkart, Danny, LDG. He actually left the studio. So, I think his computer even froze. So that would.
Yep, it was inevitable.
Damn right. All right. Peace out, guys.
Peace.
We are an unusual couple,
Oh, I don't think that was ever in question.